Hey guys, so today I was supposed to, not really today, but I was supposed to show you guys in my next tutorial how to make a candy skull like this, but I've had complications with making the video prior to being too many distractions, so it left me in a way where I couldn't necessarily finish the video as well as properly show you how to make this. So in return, I've decided to do a different video to where I'm going to show you how to make a particular piece of candy, but I'm not, this is from a different source. Originally, uh, the the candy was made by a person that already did this on their YouTube. Her username, I believe, is Candy for All. She made a cuff, a 3D star cuff that I've actually was able to do based on following her tutorial, but the only issue that I had was that she had made the tutorial, I guess by using the YouTube editor on the YouTube site, but I'm assuming when she was making the videos that I guess there was some complications that I don't even think she even looked to see that not all of the video filmed the way she wanted it. So I decided to go ahead to do the video again. I'm not trying to take any credit from her work, I'm actually giving credit for her, but in order for you guys to see how the process is really done, I decided to do this video in reference to that. So uh, Candy for All, if you do see this video, I will leave a link to your video, which essentially it is originated from you. Again, if you have an issue with that, you can definitely message me and let me know, and I will definitely, be able to get back to you on that. So, without any further ado, I'm going to show you guys how to make a 3D star cuff. Just breathe. Alright, in case you guys, again, do not know how to make a star, you can, there's two options. You either watch how I do it right now, or you can reference back to my candy bell balls. In case you don't want to do that, I'm going to go ahead and just show you how to make it. So go ahead and get your elastic. Try and get it at least enough, because we're gonna actually just jump right through it. So have at least from your hand to your shoulder is the amount that you'll need, because it's gonna require a lot of stringing through. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to make a star in case you guys forgot or don't really know how to do it. So when I made the cuff, I did a rainbow cuff, but I went on ahead and traded it to someone because I had promised them one of the cuffs that I had made, and I completely forgot and gave it to somebody else. So I'm gonna do a different set of colors. I'm gonna use black, white, and I also bought clear for the first time. So again, we're gonna go ahead and start with the base of the star, which is 10 beads. So once you fix your star, it should look like that. So now we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna use a different color this time. I'm gonna use white. Add 3 beads. Once you have your 3 beads, you're gonna string it, skip a bead, and then go to the next bead and string through that. And it should come out like this, just like that. You're gonna do that all the way around. So what you're gonna do, since we have a long string, we don't have just a short one where you can just tie it off right after you're done. We're gonna take our long string, make sure your points are not droopy looking and it's fixed. Go ahead, take your long string and you see the gap in between these two bead in between these 3 beads right here, there's a small gap right there. What you're going to do is string your string in that gap right there, and you're going to pull, but do not try and pull through all the way because it's not going to work, because we're going to do a little knot. I'm going to move the string to the very end so that it'll make a knot from there. So take your long string again and then string through that loop, and then pull, and it should pull to tie it off to make a knot. And then do this at least a couple to 3 more times. So now that it's tied off, you should have a star that looks like this. If your points are messed up and it's like flat, like on this bottom part, if it's flat like that, just pull the middle bead to fix the point, and you should have your star. So now, the next thing you're going to need to do, this is where it gets a little bit confusing for some, but this shouldn't be an issue. We're going to do exactly pretty much how she did it, which is grabbing 3 more beads, and then what you're going to do next is, since we have our string going through this bead right here, or it's strung through this bead right here, you're going to skip a bead and then string it through this next bead right here. And then once you have the string strung through that bead, you pull. Just like that. Okay? And you're going to do that all the way around until you get back to the beginning. You should have something like this when you're done. So all 3 beads are around the middle point or middle of the star. So what we're going to do is we're actually not going to tie it off just yet. I'm going to flip this over and do the exact same thing as we did before, but make sure it's tight, but not super tight. So same thing as you did before on this side, I'm moving the string over to the other side and putting on 3 beads. Should be exactly how you did it before on one side. If I can get it to stay still to show you. And you're going to do that all the way around, and then I'll tell you how to tie it off. Okay, so now you've added on your last 3. If it looks all messy looking, actually don't worry about it. It's gonna be that way because the whole point of it, it's supposed to have this puffy feeling to it and not sort of like a very stiff one. So go ahead and string through your last set of 3. So now what you're gonna need to do is same thing as before. The star that we started with at the very beginning before stringing on the beads, string through the middle of the 3 beads, move the string to the end and pull it, and then the loop that remains you're going to string through that loop and then pull, and then do this at least 3 times. Now everything should look like this. It's gonna look weird, but there's gonna be a fine purpose to it. Okay, once you have pretty much tied everything off, you won't need this long string anymore. You're actually gonna cut it off. Sorry. Alright, so now I'm actually gonna cut this piece in half as well. Okay. So now this is where you're gonna need this short string. Put on a bead and string through this string right here. I'm gonna go ahead and just do the other side as well. So it's like that. Do that all the way around, and then once all 5 beads are on, you tie it off. You should have one side look like this. Now it's going to be the same thing for the other side, so I'm going to show you one last time. Grab 5 beads. Okay, string through this bead right here. string, well, technically string through the points that are sticking up. Put on a bead, string through the next point, so it'll look like that. Do that all the way around. Now, once you finish the other side, it should look like this. And yeah, it should look like this for both sides. And since this is going to be a cuff, think of this as if you were making an actual star cuff, where it's just a flat star, and then made all the for the amount of how many stars it'll take to make your own bracelet. Make as many of these, just enough for it to fit you. And then once you have all the amount of stars it'll take to fit your wrist, then I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so now that you have finished all of your stars, essentially I can only fit 6 stars on me. It's pretty much, I'm going to pull it out of my pocket since I was able to do it. So it's essentially almost like making a regular star cuff. Since I can only fit 6 stars, I was able to put 6 stars for me to make my own cuff. Since this is almost like a duplicate of making like a regular star itself, if you can only fit 5 stars, then you can try and make a 5-star cuff, 5-star 3D cuff. You and try and see if it'll fit you. If not, you can always have your 6-star in hand and be able to have your star cuff there. So it's almost similar to this, but this is all 3D. Okay, so now that you have all your stars, it's again, it's almost like putting together an actual 3D star cuff. So I'm gonna just go ahead and start showing you. So I'm doing this in a pattern so that it shows what type of the different stars that I made, though, so that it's not, the pattern is not together, it's like divided differently. So go ahead, at one of the points you're gonna string through your elastic on one of the points, take another star and string it through on the other side. So you'll have both stars on different sets of string, and then once you have those, tie it off. Now do the same thing for the bottom part. So far, once you have all that tied up, it should look like that. Yeah, it should look like this. Do the exact same thing for all the rest of the stars. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead and do this exact same thing for all the rest of the stars. So once everything is set and done, you are done. And that's how you make your 3D star cuff. And it should fit on you just like that. Sorry if it's too close up, but it should look like that when you're done. And if you got this, then you're pretty much done, and this is exactly what it's supposed to look like. The first cuff I had made when I did this, I did a rainbow one, and then when someone from Candyland on Facebook wanted the Mario cuff, I realized that I didn't mean to give it to somebody else, so I gave her the rainbow cuff in exchange for the Mario cuff, and she absolutely, and I'm hoping that when she gets it, she'll love it, because I think when she saw the picture when I did it, she really did love it and she wanted it. So now that I've made this one as a tutorial, I will now have my own 3D star cuff, and I will definitely make another rainbow one. But this was also to show you what it's supposed to look like, and it looks really epic when you put it on. So, yep, and it should look like that. And I'm hoping you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you have seen Candy for All's tutorial on how to just to make the 3D star, she wasn't, I think her editing was cut off with how to put it all together. So hopefully when you saw my tutorial that you know how to put the 3D star together. So again, it's almost like making a regular star cuff, but it's all full 3D. So if you have if your wrist can only fit 5 stars, then this should be able to help you put five. You should only have this should help you have at least 5 stars on this cuff. If it's just like mine, where it's 6 stars, then go ahead and make 6 stars to make this cuff. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and if Candy, for all of you are watching this, I am not trying to take credit of what you made. When I saw your video, I thought it was really awesome and it looked really cute. And when I had made your cup for the very first time, I really didn't quite understand how to do it. And then after I had looked a little bit more into it, I realized how you did it, and it looks amazing. So props to you on making the tutorial to begin with. And for those who also are trying to learn how to do this, I appreciate you guys for watching this. Also, I will teach you how to make the skull candy when I redo the video again. And yeah, and by the way, in case you didn't notice, I have a band-aid on my finger. This was from me sewing up the patch, the holes on the fluff coming out of patches. So he's almost done. He just has one last strap to put on him, and then he'll be completely done, and you guys will get to see him, the final product of him, right after I do the tutorial on the skull candy. So again, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys later. Bye.